After enduring the heat of Wyoming, it was time to hit the cooler hills of Colorado. South on I-25 and west on 66 took me to Boulder County in search for a nice place to camp. Just off Highway 72, I settled for Forestry Road 226 just south of the little town of Ward. Well, this is more like a campsite. I'm somewhere near Nederland in Colorado, not too far from Boulder, and I found this spot, but it actually took me 3 attempts to find something I was comfortable with. The first one was a tip by a viewer, and I went there, and just to get into the park it was $11 and it was $21 a night to camp. And well, you know, I'm a boondocker. There's so many places around here to camp for free, so I passed that up and I went to another place. And it seemed okay, but when I looked around there were some other campers there, or at least people parked. And the car right near me, the back window was smashed, and it just kind of was giving me a very uncomfortable feeling. I don't think it was a place I really wanted to leave my trailer. So down the road I went. Found this spot. There's Douglas fir, there's ponderosa pine. I love pines, and it's so much cooler than the desert. I think this is going to work well. Well, once settled in, it was time to look for some hiking trails. About 45 minutes north was the entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park, the same Rocky Mountain High John Denver sang about.
Good morning.
All right.
Thank you. Do you have a map of inside the park?
You know, we're out of map park-wide. We're waiting for a shipment to come in.
Okay.
So is there a certain area you want to go to? Or?
Dream Lake and Fern Lake.
Okay, so you're going to have to use the park and ride because the parking lot is full at Bear Lake.
Okay. Is there another parking lot that's not full?
No. You know, it's up to you though. All right?
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Park and ride. Not one to listen. I had to see the parking lot for myself. Yep, turned around like the rest of them. Well, that was a little discouraging. I went all that way and get to the gate, it's $25, but no maps and no parking. You have to be shuttled by a bus to get around to the trails. Sorry, but that just doesn't work for me. I mean, I really need to be at a trail to decide what equipment to bring. I'm not going to have to catch a bus every time I decide to change my equipment, so that just doesn't work. It's a little bit frustrating, but I know I was a little bit late. I only got there at 10 in the morning, but really, you got to think about it. If every parking lot is full, if they're shuttling people in and all that stuff, I can't really see being able to be intimate with nature and that kind of an idea. It's just not going to work. So I got to think about it. Is it really worth it? I'm sure it's a nice park, but I mean, there's a lot of national parks that people really think a lot of, and I don't think much of at all. And it's not the nature experience that I have problems with. It's the people experience. You know, there'll be walking a trail, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll see something, a cue, like usually like a sign, like there's something important to see. And they go and they take their selfie, and then they go back and they go blah, blah, blah. And they've had a wonderful day. But that drives me batty. If somebody is talking to me, that means they're not listening to nature. And that frustrates me. But I'm saying that, and I don't even know if it applies to this situation. So the question's going to be, do I try again or do I give up? So I don't know. The next morning I had a change of heart and gave it another go. Turns out if you get there before 7 a.m., the parking lot is almost empty. Well, I made it. Pays to get up early sometimes. And it's a beautiful day. Good day for hiking. It was a beautiful day, as in September the fall colors were at their peak. The Dream Lake Trail was well groomed with only a few minor hills to ascend. The top of this tree looked like an owl, but I wanted to know what was inside its belly. When I approached Dream Lake, I found I wasn't alone. It was apparently a good feeding ground for elk. They seemed to love the tender grasses that grew right by the shore. But I didn't have the trail just to myself. I had to share with every other nature lover who decided to get a breath of fresh air that cool autumn day. I was wrong. You actually can be intimate with nature here. Yes, sharing the woods with others can be both rewarding and enlightening when all are in tune with the wilderness. Leaving the noise of the city behind to embrace the calm and tranquility of the forest is nectar for the soul. Look closely and you'll see a chipmunk flinging pine cones at me. At night, the stars were accented with the jets from the west coast headed for Denver. You know, there's a little bit of a chill in the air this morning. I think fall is actually getting here, which is kind of ironic because in Boulder yesterday, just a few miles away, it's 91 degrees, but I'm up at the high elevation. And so yeah, the mornings are a little cool. But I am really glad that I went back to Rocky Mountain National Park. Letting something like parking defeat the pleasure of a hike was kind of silly when I think of it. And I also brought on the prejudices I had from other parks with a lot of people. In reality, the people in the park were quite amazing. They were respectful, they were kind, polite, and very fit. And so, yes, I was able to get a little bit of peace and tranquility in the forest. And that's what I really appreciated. Maybe it's just the difference in localities and regions. But I think the people around the Denver, Boulder area are a little bit more relaxed, healthy, outgoing. Whereas if you go into somewhere like Grand Canyon, I had so many stressful times in Grand Canyon that I don't know if I'll ever go back again. But that's another story. In reality, there's beautiful places everywhere and there's beautiful people everywhere. So it's all the luck of the draw sometimes. So always remember to leave your frustrations at the gate when you enter a natural area. You may not find a pot of gold, but your day will certainly be golden. Well, I hope you like this video as much as I like this coffee. Oh, that hits the spot.